Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put my controller down because I'll get comfy for this because I might talk a little while. So, originally, this was going to be a top 10 issues I have with gaming video, and then I changed my mind. I've turned it into a rants video. Also, if you're new to the series, this is literally just a series where I sit down for however long and just talk a bunch of stuff about gaming. That I might go off tangent quite a lot as well. I might just go, I'm talking about this now. There's nothing to do with anything, but I'm talking about it now. So I'm just gonna talk complete mental mad stuff. That's what this series is, and I love it. So I've been playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Love it. It's a good chair squeaking. It's a good game. I really do like it, but I had issues with it. And that made me think. I was starting to think. That's what I do. I think. What other issues I've had with gaming, and there have been a few. Gaming as a as a as a whole is never perfect. There's a lot of issues with it. But I'd like to talk about some of those issues because it was just getting to me a little bit. So I got a little list here. Once again, it's just 10 things that annoy me because originally this was going to be a top 10, but I changed my mind. All right, let's get a big one. Right, just straight up off my back, microtransactions. Everyone knows what micro words. Everyone knows what microtransactions are. You pay money in real life for in-game money or other such things. But what bothered me the most, and they did it in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but at no point is Assassin's Creed Syndicate the only game that has them, and it doesn't ruin Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but it did bother me. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, like a couple of games, is single player only, no multiplayer. You can be online, but that doesn't really do anything. There's no multiplayer. You can't play with other people. It's got no co-op. It's got no competitive. There's nothing like that. There's multiplayer on a whole is non-existent. Yet, despite that, they have microtransactions. What was that? They have microtransactions. You pay real money for in-game money or resources for a single-player game. I kind of get in multiplayer games, like say Grand Theft Auto 5, that has microtransactions online. So you want to buy a car, it costs you $1 million, but you can't. It'll take a lot of time and work to get $1 million. So what do? You pay a bit of real money, and then you get the in-game money, and that's how it works, and that's fine. I don't mind that because it's online. I mean, you don't want to, or maybe you don't have the time to put the effort in. I understand that. I see where you're getting at. In a single player game, though, there is no reason to have microtransactions unless you just want money. I'm not going to give you the money because I know you just want money. I don't. If things in the game are too expensive for you to buy, and you need a bit more money. In a single player game, what they should do, is just make the jobs pay out a little bit more. So, like, you do a mission, instead of paying £1,000, it pays out £1,500, just a little bit more, and that means that you don't need to. You don't need to get as much money. You don't need to do as much things to get the money, or make the things you are buying less expensive. So something costs 5,000, bump it down to 4,000. That's fine on a single player game, because at no point are you going to be like, oh, I bought this car, for example, going back to GTA, I bought this car for $1 million, and you don't have it. Why? Because I paid for it. Okay, it's it might be. You might pay for stuff just to look cool. Yeah, it's like a cool car. Or you might pay money for the better equipment so you can be better. You can do better in the game. In a single player game, it makes no sense and it's money grabbing. That's all it is. It's just money grabbing. Stop it. Just stop it. Yeah, they did that in Assassin's Creed, but they're not the only games that have done it, so that's not the big thing that bothered me in Assassin's Creed, but it did pop up and I was like annoyed. So some of these things I want to talk about are specific games. So that wasn't specific to Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but that was Assassin's Creed Syndicate is what made me think about microtransactions. This is something that's a bit more to a specific game. Well, a lot more to a specific game. Infamous is a series that I really enjoy. I played it on the PS3, first and the second one, and I played the Infamous Second Son on PS4. My favourite is still the second one. First one is really hard. I got stuck on that a lot. The second one was a lot easier, and I did complete that twice. It was really fun. Loads of fantastic little bits to it, and Second Son was alright, but it looked good, had good graphics, but gameplay wise, it lacked. But the thing that bothers me is Infamous 1 and 2, you did a lot of climbing. You know, you climbed up a building and you got on the roof. It was just a nice little sort of climbing system. It wasn't too complicated. It was a little bit bouncy, you know, not that realistic, but that's fine because the game itself isn't realistic. I mean, you're a guy who has electricity for powers. You know, it's not meant to be realistic. But Infamous Second Son, they kind of took out, like, you could still do the running and jumping stuff up buildings, but it's not as important because take neon power for example, you just run up a building, or the video power, you'd fly up a building. You wouldn't need to climb it. But what bothered me so much is in Infamous, I enjoyed the climbing. Okay, I enjoy games that have parkour. That's why I like Assassin's Creed. And Infamous had a nice sort of system. It was a fun game to play. The floor is lava. You know, jumping between the buildings and never touching the floor. That was really fun to do in the Infamous series. And I did do that in Infamous Second Son. But what really got in my way is how glitchy some of the climbing was. Because you could tell that they kinda didn't bother with the climbing that much because they knew you would end up running up the building most of the time anyway. So when it came to climbing, it's super glitchy. I can name several times where I would either go through the wall into the building and I was stuck there until I suddenly just popped out at one point, or where like you're holding onto a railing or something and you want to climb up the railing and your guy would just like phase through the thing you're climbing on. Like a balcony, for example, you're hanging off a balcony and you just phase through the balcony and suddenly he's on top. It really bothered me because I was having fun climbing and then it would just go whoa, glitch out of me. It was really annoying. The game itself isn't that glitchy. There are a couple of bugs. There are a couple of glitches here and there. Nothing game breaking and nothing that huge. I did have one funny video. You can see it on my channel that a car on Infamous Second Son just started driving up a building. That was hilarious. But that was like the biggest glitch I've ever came across. But all the time, climbing, you just phase through. You just phase through a building. It really bugged me because climbing in Infamous in the series was always so much fun for me. And it just ruined it a little. Second thing, third thing. We're on the third thing now. Once again, much more general, nothing specific. Although Assassin's Creed as a series has been known to do it. They fixed it around about Assassin's Creed 3. I think they fixed it. But before that, it was a problem. What made me think about it was I was playing The Walking Dead Season 2. And yeah, you couldn't skip the credits at the end. I didn't bother as much because the credits my light just flickered there, that was weird. I didn't bother as much with the that was really off-putting actually. They're doing construction outside. They could have done something with hit like a wire or something. Maybe the bulb is just going out. My point is, I went. See, it's a rant. I went off track. Yeah, they had credits and you couldn't skip them, but it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me as much because it had a bit of nice music to it. The music at the end of every episode of The Walking Dead season 2 just had nice little song. But sometimes once again I'm going back to Assassin's Creed series. Before Assassin's Creed 3, I think it was. Revelations, I know, was the worst. It had the longest unskippable. I think it was like 20 minutes. 20 minutes of just unskippable cutscenes. That is a very short game as well. If I was to like do a speed run on Assassin's Creed Revelations, I could do it so fast because it's such a short game, and I've played it over and over again so many times because it's so short that I could probably speed run that. But as it goes, yeah, unskippable credits, and included in that is unskippable cutscenes. They're there, all right. They bother me. I mean, what if it's a game that you have to like replay? Like, say a game that's got multiple endings. Say something like Heavy Rain. That was a good game, but that has multiple endings. What if I just want to skip the cutscenes to get to the bit that actually affects the ending? You can't. Now, it's not so bad in Heavy Rain because Heavy Rain, it's not got cutscenes as such. It's more like just a big. The game itself is like a long movie that's got buttons in it. It hasn't really got cutscenes because the gameplay is a cutscene. But there are some games that I can't name any off the top of my head, but they're there. They exist. Where just you're in the game, you're playing the game, you're in gameplay, and then it goes to a cutscene, and you're like, I don't want to see this. I've either seen it before, I'm just not that interested. I want to get straight back into the gameplay. Skip. Why isn't it skipping? You're just mashing all the buttons on your controller, and it just won't skip. Why do you do that? Why don't you just let me skip? I probably know if it's a cutscene I want to skip, then most likeliness I've seen it before. I want to skip it. Let me skip it. Oh, I'm sure everyone's had that thought. You know, if you play games, you probably had a game that's had unskippable cutscenes. It probably bothers you. So I won't rant on that too much because that's kind of common. But oh my god, that really bothered me. Now, the reason I wanted to make this video, and I've got a few more things to talk about, but I'll talk about it now because this is what's next on my list. I have just so you know, I've got a bunch of piece of paper all around my room, just with like writing on it, just like little notes I make. Yeah. So the reason I thought about this video, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, great game, love playing it. Here's the problem. Take, for example, another Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, for example. But it doesn't have to be Brotherhood, it could be any of them. But I'm taking Brotherhood, and say I'm on one building. So I'm on a building, and over the street, so there's a street, there's a road, it's a bit of a distance, there's another building. Now, I start to run towards that building and try and, I'm holding down the button to do the free run. But your guy's like, no, I can't make that jump, mate. See this length? No, I can't make that, sorry. I'm like, no, you couldn't make that. If you jumped, you could probably make that. And then you're like, no, I can't make that. But, it's like, Ezio, I'm in control of you. I'm saying you can jump that. Here we go. Push the button. He jumps. He made it. I jump. I hold out the button to grab the ledge. I admit, I only just make it. When I see a jump, and Ezio's like, no, I can't make that. It's usually a jump that you can only just make it. But you make it, nonetheless. And then sorry for a little you'll hear in the audio a little jump there. Don't know why my audio recording just ran out of time. I don't know what happened. It was like, oh, you can only record for 15 minutes. So I was like, oh, alright, I'll make some room or whatever and I'll try again. So, doesn't matter. I'll go straight back to what I was saying. It's only been like 2 seconds. Yeah, so I climbed the building and Ezio's like, oh wow, I made it. I should have trusted you. I actually did make the jump. But Assassin's Creed Syndicate, you can't jump. You hold down the button and you hold down. So R1 is to run, and X is to like climb up. You know, run up. You know, free run up. That's what is called specific. But in other games, you still had that. But when you pushed, like if you're holding R1 and just pushed X and didn't hold it down, like holding it down would be run up. Just pushing it would be a jump, I should say. So you just pushed it, you jump. Hey, you made a jump. You didn't use it that much, I'll admit, but it was a jump. So many times in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, though, I'm like, alright, if I just jump here, I'll be able to get to that building, no problem. But I go to do it, and you guys are like, nope, no, I can't make that jump. I'm like, no, you can, trust me. I did it with Ezio. He's still alive. Alright, maybe he died a couple of times before I made the jump. But your guy in Syndicate is just like, nah, or girl, is nah, I can't make that jump. I'm like, no, here, alright, fine. I'll push the button, you jump, but in Syndicate it's like, no, I'm still not going to jump. I don't care how many times you push that button. There is no jump button. It really bugs me, because I'm playing it so many times, I'm like, alright, if I just jump here, I will make it. But no, I need to use the zip line to make it. Or I have to climb around or something. Or I need to go down to ground level and then climb back up again. When I know I could probably just make it in just one jump. Ezio could have done that. And he's old. He was old in Revelations. It really bugs me. Because I'm just playing it and I know the jump would work. Like some of these, I was climbing a rooftop and it's like it's a rooftop that's got a bit of a triangular edge to it. So I'm like, alright, if I could probably jump between all those triangles. But no, what does your guy or girl do? They run down the slope and then run back up again. I'm like, you could have just jumped between the slopes instead of running up and then running down and then running back up again. Alright, moving on because this keeps telling me I'm running out of time. It did it once, I'm lying. It doesn't keep doing it. But it'll probably do it again. Moving on. Yeah, alright. I won't touch on this much because I don't really care, but I did want to mention it at least a little. See when I'm just lying around, or I'm just playing a game, I'm doing something. I could be doing anything, I could be watching TV. Right. I'm just lying around, I'm not doing much. Got my phone next to me. You know, I keep it on. People might phone me. People might text me. What I don't want people to do is sending me invites to play Candy Crush with them. Why are Facebook games? They're not Facebook games. They're just mobile games that are like, oh, you can invite your Facebook friends to do this, and then you will get shiny rewards. And they're like, oh, I want the shiny rewards. So then I get a message up on my phone. This person so and so has invited you to play this. I'm like, no. I don't care about your mobile games. I play real games. I don't want to play your mobile games that I won't be playing with you either. I'll probably be doing something for you so you could get a reward. No. I will not be your Facebook playing slave. I will not play a Facebook game so you could get a reward. Oh my god, it doesn't happen that much. But when it does happen, it really annoys me. because they're never games that I even really care about. There are some good mobile games. I'm gonna say it. They are. You know, a couple of games on your phone that are just sort of nice little games. For example, I don't mind Angry Birds. I could probably play Angry Birds, but I still wouldn't want you to invite me to play Angry Birds. It's not a game that I want to play with other people. It's a game I want to go, oh, alright, I played that for a couple of minutes because something on my PlayStation was downloaded, most likely. Right, that's enough. I'll go on about that because it's a small thing that. Let's go into another thing that doesn't bother me that much, but it still bothers me. Why has everything got multiple special editions? I'm coming straight out with it. You get a special edition, it's like, oh, you got this special edition, now you got some 10 minutes of extra gameplay, for example. But you get you get this game on this console, you get this hat, you get this top hat or something. You get this lovely dress, I don't know. Or you buy this game from this place and then you get some shiny shoes. I don't want to buy a game from everywhere. Why should there be exclusive things for exclusive places? Take for example, what's it called, like GameStop? Like that's a big thing. That's a big shop. I have no idea where my nearest GameStop is. It's not a thing that's like it's not a thing in my area, you know. I've got games, I've got Tesco's, got an HMV or two, just close to me. Probably hop on a bus and go to my nearest game. I can't go to my nearest GameStop. Is it GameStop? I don't even know if it's GameStop. I don't. It's not a thing. So why do I want to find my nearest one that's probably nowhere close to me just so I can get extra 10 minutes of gameplay? I'll tell you what, I don't want to do that, so I don't. And then I'm missing out because you haven't got a shop close to me. You shouldn't have special editions. Shops shouldn't have special editions. Consoles shouldn't have special editions. You want to have a special edition that costs a little bit more money and you get a bit more stuff. That is fine. You can have that if you want. You can't have it for consoles or shops, because I'm not going to buy a whole new console for an extra outfit. I'm not going to go miles to find your shop for some shiny shoes. Moving on to something that bothered me straight away when the game was first released, and it still bugs me. GTA 5. That's it. I'm going to talk something bad about GTA 5. Fantastic game. I won't deny it. It's brilliant. I play it all the time. You can clearly see from my channel. But here's something that bugs me. Why is there no crouch? Right? You had that in other GTA games, and it was useful. It really was. I used it. Assassin's Creed didn't use it, and then when they started to use it, that really helped. It was, what was it, Assassin's Creed Unity? And then you could actually push X, and you'd crouch. You'd go into a sneak mode, and you could go behind cover. Yeah, we all shout yes. That is very useful. GTA, it was also very useful. Why did you take it out? I don't want to hear your reasons for taking it out. I just want it to be there, and it's not. Because so many times I'm like, oh, I'm being shot at, but there's if I push the button, there's nowhere to take cover. But I still think that if I crouched right now, like behind, alright, so say I'm behind someone, but it's not something you could, it's not something you could take cover on. And it does happen. There's a few things that you can't take cover to. Alright, say for example there's a car, and there's a car next to another car. Now, instead of like popping out of cover on one car to move to the other one, which you would do in GTA right now, you would just stay crouched, slowly move, and keep yourself low. So you're being shot at, you're keeping yourself low, and they're less likely to hit you. And then that's how you move to the other one. Instead of popping out of cover, standing, and just running to the. I don't like it. I want to stay low. I want to stay in cover. I think I'd be better protected if I crouched and went. I admit I'd be going slower to the cover, but at least I would be still in cover. I don't want to run out, make myself a target, to go back in cover. I miss crouch. I miss the crouch function from GTA games. You had it in San Andreas. Been playing a lot of that recently. I'll get onto something that's been bothering me in San Andreas in a minute though. You had it in GTA 4. It was useful. It really was. I think it would be useful in GTA 5. Why did you take it out? Alright. Not much left to go. I thank you for watching so far. About me getting mostly angry. But alright, once again, everyone has probably had this problem. So I won't go on it that much. But why do games have invisible walls? I'm gonna say it. Alright. Now, if you have an invisible wall in your game, that's hard to get to. Like, you need to really go out your way to get to the invisible wall. Okay. That's fine. I shouldn't be here. Clearly, I should not have been able to get here to realize that there's an invisible wall. I would have to really go out my way to do that. But see, when you got say an invisible wall that is like right there, you're not hiding it. You're not even trying to pretend that that's not an invisible wall. That's when you really got me. That's when I'm really like, oh, you did not just do that. Now, there are two things I prefer games to do. One, either the invisible wall is hard to get, like I said. So instead of it being an invisible wall, there's like a building in the way. And you can't go through the building, you can't go up the building. That building is an invisible wall. Or, take for example, you do go outside your area, and then the game's like, oh no, you have to turn back. Now either the game pushes you back, or spawns you back, or it's like, oh, you have 5 seconds to get back into your area, or you have to restart, you die or something. I would prefer a game to do that than just straight up having an invisible wall there. Like, clearly, like, oh, there's a side street down there. Let's go down that side street and see what's there. And then you're just running into an invisible wall. But it's like, I can clearly see you have other buildings over there. You have not blocked the street. Or maybe they have blocked it. They put like some of those police barriers in the way. But it's like, no, you're not allowed to do that, because I know that I can jump as high, or at least higher than a police barrier. So I should be able to jump over those and continue going down the street. If you want to put a massive like brick wall there, that's fine. I can't jump as high as a brick wall. I can jump over a police barrier though. And I know that there's an invisible wall there. Don't do that. Cover your invisible walls. Don't leave them naked. Alright, straight on to the next thing. Although I might run out of recording space slightly. I've been talking for quite a while. So I'll go a little bit faster, but we've only got 2 points to go anyway. First things first. Alright, you know what? I'll drop the last point I was going to make, because I'll just say it quickly. Save points, save files. There's games, especially nowadays on PS4 and Xbox One and so on, newer games where you can only have one save file on your profile, and that really bugs me. But I won't go too much into that, because I really am running out of time. So yeah, I won't go too much into that. It bothers me. Only one save file, come on.